You know, St. Lucie Public Schools is actually, if you think about it, the engine of our local economy. You know, we're the largest employer. We have about 5,500 employees, and our budget is literally about $1.3 billion.
Since we've opened up in 2018, we have sold over 4,000 homes, closed on 3,600 plus homes, which means over 7,200 residents now live here in Port St. Lucie.
Just in the last quarter, which we just finished last week, we processed over $4 million of payroll for wages, salaries, tips, gratuities, commission, and we're tracking to do about $15 million in total income for all of our team members.
St. Lucie Public Schools is the engine that drives the local economy, and I'm going to explain why. First of all, we're the largest employer. You know, our budget is about $1.3 billion annually. 80% of that is tied up in salaries. So as the largest employer, our employees are going out and they're buying groceries, they're going to dinner, you know, they're paying for somebody to come and work on their AC. They're literally the engine that drives local business as the largest employer. In addition to that, we also create such capital investment. As a growing school district, we built 3 schools just in the time that I've been superintendent. One I'm sitting in right now, Legacy High School, Fort Pierce Westwood, which is a rebuild, and then Tradition Lakes that is opening up in August. In fact, it's been $400 million almost of capital investments over the last 4 years, and those are 75% local. So we are the engine that literally drives our local economy.
At Geo Homes at Riverland, I am so happy to continue my service to the community and contributing to it, because out here on our 4,000 acres known as Riverland, we have sold over 4,000 homes with over 7,000 residents that are here in Port St. Lucie in St. Lucie County. Our average sales price is over $600,000, which is absolutely amazing for the city and county tax base. And in addition to that, we have about 250 to 300 homes under construction at any given time, as well as having over 2,000 people on site that are working the job sites in various aspects, whether it's the skilled trades, whether it is hospitality, because we have that aspect as well regarding our master amenities. We have so much that is going on here at Riverland. As part of our 4,000 acres, we also have commercial and retail centers that we've developed. In fact, right a few steps away from us, we have our Riverland Town Center. In addition to our Riverland Town Center that is acred by Publix, we also have your regular retail with salons and restaurants, as well as our public art project is actually going to be there too, and it's really exciting to see that come to life and to fruition.
It started about 8.5 years ago when we opened Kyle G's Prime Seafood and Steak. We started with 150 team members. Today we operate 7 restaurants, so we're just about 650 team members. We have our main office that functions as our call center and our logistics, as well as our valet company, and we're on track this year to process just over $15 million in total income between hourly wages, salaries, commission, and additional credit card gratuities. That being said, you know, the story doesn't end there. It also impacts with our local vendors. So, you know, Robert Erneston Produce, New England Seafood, they provide all of our stuff. You know, Cheney Brothers with their warehouse down the road from 2 of my restaurants. They're more regional, sure, but they just opened it, you know, here in Tradition. And not just our food vendors, right? But it's also, you know, all of our vendors. Our plumbers, our HVAC guys, our maintenance folks, our cleaning supplies. You know, down in Miami is where our vodka is distilled and made and brought up here. So we have an economic impact that I'm not really quite sure how to measure beyond my own payroll. But I know that there's dozens, if not hundreds, of folks that work with us, and you know, we need them probably more than they need us, but I know that we're able to enrich our community at a pretty high level that way.
So last year we earned our first A rating as a school district in the history of the district, and that was a game changer for us. And that's through the efforts of our wonderful teachers and everybody that works in the system, whether you're a bus driver, food service worker, school administrator. It takes a village, literally. But I think it's really What was the game changer is we're going to be a child advocate. That was the number one priority, is that, we've got families and parents like mine. I was one of 7 kids, that my parents loved me, cared for me, but they never came to anything for me, and they never made a school-based decision for me. And I was making all those decisions myself. As a school system, we know a lot of our parents and families work, but we're going to challenge our kids. We're going to challenge them with a challenging curriculum. We're going to provide acceleration opportunities, not just for high school kids, but for elementary, middle, and high. And because those programs have grown and thrived, the performance of our students has really taken off. And that was a direct result of the hard work and really the standard of expectations that we set, not just for our students, but for the adults that work with our kids.
Service has always been at the heart and core of who I am. And I am so lucky and privileged that I have GL that supports that commitment in my heart to serve the community. And as part of those efforts, they have truly been so supportive of my working with the Humane Society of St. Lucie County and being a board member of that, of working with the EDC and spearheading certain efforts like establishing the pink tutu, and that would support breast cancer, and setting the standard for businesses to show that when we help each other and we support each other, then that also helps elevate and lift others in the community. In addition to that, we've also done a lot of work with the Boys and Girls Club, with the food pantry and the food bank. And there's been so many activities that GL has been so supportive of. It's been truly amazing. And one of the ones that actually holds dear to my heart was when GL offered to construct a home and donate a mortgage-free home to the Goldstein family in order to honor the service of a fallen soldier.
And then when COVID hit, we realized, well, how do we serve smiles one plate at a time if we don't have a restaurant? And then we realized we don't need a restaurant to do that. And so through our community partners, Will Armstead, the Community Foundation, Stephen Layton and Brian Mass' office, collectively we all came together and we were able to serve about 20,000 meals to those in need for free to those folks during that first month of COVID, where everything was shut down and people couldn't get food, toilet paper, bottles of water. And we were really able to help serve smiles one plate at a time, even if it wasn't in our restaurant or our typical regulars coming through the door.
We have to, as a school district, have strong relationships with, number one, our parents, and then 1A is our business community. So I knew as superintendent I had to really build a strong partnership with Economic Development Council. And through that, we created Classrooms to Careers. Now, we knew that a lot of the industries that were relocating to St. Lucie County needed to build or have confidence in the school district that we're going to meet your needs through building a local workforce. So in the past 4 years, I think we spent $25 million repurposing many of our career and technical education programs and hiring employees to teach in those programs for things like forklift operator, dentistry, allied health, diesel mechanic, the things our local industry folks need. We're going to meet those needs, and we're going to pivot as an organization, because the bottom line is we have to build our local workforce locally. We can't outsource that.
So I've been working within the city since 2007. So for pretty much 20 years, I've been working in St. Lucie County, whether it is dealing with the infrastructure that needs to help move traffic and people and connect residents, or creating and helping negotiate the acquisition of McCarty Preserve in order to provide potable water resources and a future preserve location for the residents. Like, everything has kind of been part and parcel of, I guess, my career of starting as a staff attorney to becoming a city attorney to then being hired as outside legal counsel. And I guess you could say, since 2007, when the market was tanking, that's when they brought me on board to handle the eminent domain, to work with Crosstown Parkway, as well as, helping with the complex negotiations of VGTI and Torrey Pines, and working with the state and helping now create what we see as Cleveland Clinic and FIU translational area.
our team member mission statement, and to paraphrase it, is to be the employer choice of hospitality on the Treasure Coast. In order to do that, we've got to be able to have the best restaurant environment and the best possible wages and compensation that we can provide. So this path allowed us to professionalize our industry and elevate our team's wages so that we could attract and retain the best possible team members into our organization so that we could then serve the guests at the highest level possible. One of the ways we did that was by setting up this commission structure, because that allowed us the flexibility to reward our team members to be able to capitalize on their sales. It allowed us to be able to then allocate dollars into our management structures, into our kitchen structures, and be able to attract or retain these folks while providing them benefits that a Fortune 500 company would have. You know, no other restaurant that I've ever worked in did a dishwasher or a server or a line cook take a week paid vacation because they earn PTO throughout the year, right? Our team members do.